Doesn't matter how old you are, grown man, young boy, these guys do not like you, they do not rate you, they see you as nothing more than a civilian waste man who they can exploit and make money from. What's good, people, and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you don't know, this channel is dedicated to sharing knowledge to help navigate life. That being the case, we gotta tackle some very important and serious topics, one of which is the deceptive street lifestyle, which misleads and misguides so many young boys and young men. Now, in today's video, we're going to specifically speak about how trappers, aka drug dealers, actually manipulate everyone. Now, me being myself, due to my background, I have expertise, knowledge in this certain topic. I see it time and time again. So many young boys either want to follow that path and become the trapper, or one of the biggest things is they see the older trapper as someone who is their friend, when in actual reality, 99% of the time, they are merely using, abusing, and essentially violating you. But most kids don't even realize, and this isn't just something that happens to kids. Big grown men get taken advantage of as well because they want to fit in and feel a part of something bigger than them, aka brotherhood. That being the case, let's listen to what this ex-gang member had to say, and then we'll break down and I'll give you some more insight into it. Of course, now it wants to freeze on me. Of course, when I'm trying to play it, now it suddenly wants to freeze. They don't want you to get the knowledge. They want you to stay stuck. They want you to be deceived. Allow it, man. Stupidness.
Want to be in that life, so I'd let you get in the car, put a chain in you, give you a name. I know you're thinking, I'm thinking, wow, I'm with, my nickname was Skelly, I was a skinny guy. I'm with Skelly, you know, got the gangster music on, we're hitting a corner slow, we're smoking, and bring you to the older parties. The girls know who you are now, you're selling drugs. You feel like a man. One or two you feel bad for because you know you're using them and they're gonna.
See that part there where it says you feel like a man, aka he knows your pain and your desires. Therefore, he's supplying you with the remedy to your pain, aka not having women, not having respect, not having clout, not having older big brothers, for example. And on top of that, he knows what it's gonna achieve, aka the ultimate desire that is gonna fulfill in you and is gonna make you feel like you're somebody. Now, once he's put you in that position, which is what trappers do, they put you in that position, you're in the palm of their hand and they control you because they've given everything to you. It's the same way with a job, which is why I don't believe in solely relying on one income and one job, because now you're in the palm of the hand, aka the submission, and you have to submit to that person. Now, at first in this lifestyle, for example, trapping and all that, you don't realize how trapped you actually are until something goes left. And something always goes left. More time than not, it's actually planted and manipulated on purpose. Like, let me give you an example. Literally, when I was growing up, I remember some youth on the state started trapping for the older guys who were my brethren. And then, bro, he comes to me a week later and I see him, he's looking all sad and all that. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you? He's like, oh, I lost the pack, I owe these man free bills now, saying I gotta work for free and all that. I knew immediately no pack was lost. Let's just say that. Now, what do I see an hour, 2 hours later? I go to the other side of the estate where these men are, because they're my brethren, so I go to Buck them to just chill and all that, because I'm doing my own thing, these men are doing their thing, and they're comfortable enough to speak around me because of who I am and whatnot, and they're talking about, oh yeah, we got my man for free now because I took the pack, he thinks he lost it, da-da-da-da-da. I've never said that I know that this guy's told me, da-da-da, and I'm just like, oh. I knew this thing went on, but now I was witnessing it within my own eyes, that the own guys are doing it. And this is little youth back then, he lived next to mine and what, so it's like, okay, cool. I don't really know him like that too tough at this stage. I grew to know him, but not at this stage. And these are my guys. So I ain't really gonna say nothing. I just peep it. I'm like, and I'm not doing business with them or no, nothing like this. So it's like, it's the game.
You're using them and they're going to get spit up and chewed up and spat out. But most of them now, because the way I've seen it is, it's better you getting 13 months in jail than me getting my second time 4, 5, 6 years. And if I don't do it, you use the same thinking, someone else is going to get this kid. I might as well do it and pay the kid. But yeah, you don't understand you're ruining their lives. And the ones that I did not care about, to me, it was part of the game. I feel bad now, but back then, I really didn't care. One or two who, like, you get to know the situation, the mums struggling, like, they're just poor. You feel bad what you're doing to them. But the ones who actually want to come around and want to go shop for you, you're like, yeah, you deserve it because you want to be in this life. The kids that are around you, the kids that's lonely, he's isolated, the kid that hasn't got the Nike trainers, the kid that has got no dad and his mum's not calling him in at 8 o'clock and it's dark. Them kids that are wandering around, the kids outside the chippy, you can always see something vulnerable about that person. And if you become their friend, and you can turn them against their parents, because if I give a young kid...
This is the next thing. Do you see the level of manipulation that goes on? They know to target certain kids, aka the vulnerable. Like in my size, that's all that was. Anyone who became a worker or anyone who went cunch for someone who's older and whatnot was always from a very, very poor household, single mother, and not only that, the person himself was never that guy, let's just say. It was always a vulnerable type. Why? Because they are so much easier to manipulate and control. So the next time you're in school and someone's bragging about going cunch, or someone's bragging for work for someone, trust me, that guy is not nobody special. Because 90% of the time, it's because he's a victim. That's why they've picked him. Yeah? Actual guys who get respect who are younger and older, and that they don't get violated in the same ways. They will not be sent and made to workers and all that stuff like that. They may work for someone who's older, but even then, as time goes on, and you see the level of corruption and that gets into, it's not something that you want to aspire to be. Because nowadays, look, what do you go in the streets for? Money, clout, brotherhood, respect. All these things can be found elsewhere. You don't need to find them in the streets. It's 2024. You have a phone, which means you have limitless opportunity. You don't need to fucking follow some guy who's actually a scumbag, because that's what these people are. Maybe they have some good traits and characteristics, but overall, their insides, their heart is that of a scumbag, because they have to constantly do evil. They have to constantly do bad. So you think this person gives a fuck about you? Don't delude yourself. This is what I tell young people all the time. Don't believe the facade. They are manipulating you for their own personal gain, who may make it look cool and flashy and something to aspire to have, because they have elements of success in that lifestyle. They have things you desire and crave as a young boy and young man. But do you think that they would come and just recruit some young, small person, underage usually, and be a part of that? And it's not to their gain. It's all for their gain. You take the sentence, you do this dog work, you get violated, essentially you become trapped and you become a little slave.
To hold it, I know that if I give you this, you're going to be like, yeah, Matthew, trust me. But then I'm giving you £20. £20 at the age of 10 when your mum's struggling just to get you to school, that is a lot. And then the more money you make, you feel like a man now. You can say to your mum, yeah, mum, I don't need bus fare for school. And then other ways was you groom the mum. So you got the mum who's got 2 kids. You know, you see her coming from Quick Save. Back then, Quick Save was the best place. And she's got like no frills. She's only got 2 bags. So you go to the house and she knows this is someone in your area, so they know you. You can't just go to a stranger. But someone who knows you, and they're like, oh, you're right, Matthew, can I use your toilet? So I've gone there, I've left a bit of weed upstairs. And then she's phoned me, oh, you've left something in the toilet. I've just put it in a bag. So I come and got it and said, yeah, I gave her some money. And I just said, listen, I know you're struggling. If me and my brother come here, we'll give you 5 ton a week. But anytime we come more than twice, we'll give you, like, say, £150, £200. So when we're doing drug dealers, like people from Birmingham are coming, we'd use her house. But then she's making more money. So now you see her leather settee, which everyone wanted, you know, the recliners. Instead of going to Quick Save and getting 2 bags, she's coming back in a taxi. Her kids, instead of having like Dunlop trainers, now I've got Nike going back to school. And I know it's bad. And then some of them, you sleep with them because, you know, you're somebody and they feel that you love them. You tell them all that crap. But the bad part is when they want to stop and then you know she wants to stop, but you just...
What you need to understand when it comes to manipulation, people are always going to tell you what they know that you want to hear. So be very mindful. A fool believes what he hears. An average person believes what he sees. A wise person believes what they experience. What does this mean? You can't just trust what you hear, and you can't just trust what you're shown, especially in today's day and age. Do you know what manipulation is? Manipulation is another form of creating an illusion, aka I'm only showing you what I want you to see. That's why it's so easy to manipulate through social media. You're not seeing what goes on behind the scenes. You're not seeing what goes on when the cameras are turned off. But the wise man believes what he experiences. And how do you gain experiences? Well, you have to physically go out and put yourself through these environments and understand. Or you have to read about it and study about it. Now, studying and reading about it is only going to give you so much. But if you read and study from trusted sources, then you are going to gain a high level of experience. Or you may know somebody, so you can get it like that. So it's near enough firsthand. Except you just didn't go for it, but you've seen the person who's going for it and you trust their word, trust their source, and you know what they've been through. So now you're armed with knowledge. The person who is armed with knowledge is essentially like a shield, so they cannot be manipulated. The person with knowledge cannot be manipulated by the media. They cannot be manipulated by sleazy salesmen. They cannot be manipulated by people pretending to be entrepreneurs and talking all this stuff like these traders and these MLM people and these pyramid scheme people who are on your phones all day, every day, trying to make like they're legit and they're some entrepreneurs when they're just multi-level marketing salespeople all involved in a pyramid scheme. All of this stuff, and man on the block trying to persuade you, or rappers portraying lifestyles that, especially when it comes to the money side, they don't really have, or they're having to risk their freedom constantly. Because if you have to risk your freedom constantly for your money, it's 100% not worth it. Not in 2024. That's fucking stupid. Don't be greedy. What's meant for you is meant for you. All you have to do is believe. But I have a lot more videos on those type of things. If you're interested in learning knowledge that can actually help you create the life you desire and achieve freedom, to gain money, to improve your life, to attract the relationship you want, all these things operate under the same principles. And I have a channel dedicated to sharing the knowledge that helps you achieve that, because I've done it in my own life. I have the relationship I want, I have the freedom I want, I'm on the right path that I want, I've improved my life in ways that I've want. I've done these things, so I know they work, and I know people around me who have done them too, so I know they work. So go check that out. The link is in the description below. Now back to this, why knowledge is so important, because you now cannot be manipulated. This is why a strong father figure inside the household is so important, because if you have someone to look up to, then they're not going to look up to these drug dealers, and because they have a big chain and they're old and they have a nice car, think that that's a man. Is he an honorable man? Because it's all well and good looking up to people who are dishonorable, because they have all the things that you desire usually. But then when you put yourself in their shoes and you blacken your soul to become like them, what ends up happening down the line? You have regret. You harm people, you harm your family, you harm others, you take advantage of vulnerable people, and you destroy yourself, your soul, for material gain, which is the poorest choice you can make. Let's finish this off.
Basically use the money. Now, if you put the money out of this house, she's going back to struggling. She's going right back to struggling. So it's kind of, that's the bad part about it. When you're grooming someone's mum and you're using the money, and these people don't really want to do it no more, but you're addicted to the money and you see it, it doesn't make you feel good, but needs must.
That's another thing you see with this lifestyle. What he's saying here, they're addicted to the money and they don't no longer want to do it. Do you know the biggest thing that happens to kids who go crunch, who start trapping for orders and all that? Because these kids are different than the guys who grew up in the estate and are kind of built for that lifestyle, like the guys who really like to fight, the guys who naturally become that way, who are extremely mischievous. Those are a different kind of kids. They're the ones that usually end up choosing that lifestyle and being involved in it, and a lot of them end up changing their lives down the line because they realize it's just their rebellious nature and all this sorts of stuff. But most guys out here are not built for that type of lifestyle. You're not built to be evil. You're not built to constantly make bad decisions. The reason why I got off the roads when I was younger is because at one point I realized, okay, because I'm a very ambitious person and I want to be the best at things that I do. And it got to a stage where I realized I need to be evil all the fucking time. I need to be constantly lying, scheming, committing violence on people, just have no heart, no remorse, no compassion, no understanding. Like I had to become a monster essentially. And in parts of me, I saw myself becoming that, but then I would revert back to who I am and how I was brought up, and reminding me of the good things. Like Islam helped me a lot to stop me from that. So it was like I was battling these demons, inner demons, and I came to the decision, yeah, I can't commit to being evil 24/7. This is disgusting. And not only that, I done the research and found out what happens to all these people who do commit to that lifestyle and how they all regret. And now you see them, everybody's online nowadays talking about how it's bad, but people still follow that path, even though with all this information out there. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, it's about what you believe, what you want. If you want it, you have to pursue it. Doesn't matter whether I can sit someone down and give them all the evidence that this lifestyle is nonsense. But on the flip side, if you focus on yourself, improve yourself, focus on business, focus on family, focus on becoming the best version of yourself in an honorable way, you'll agree with me. But that's the hard path, because you have to delay a lot of gratification on this path. Whereas in that street path, you get to smoke weed all the time, get to constantly chase girls, get to party, get to make quick money, aka quick cash. Like, it's constant instant gratification, so it's easy. You don't have to delay stuff. You don't have to go to work and try to fix your life and wait 1 month for one paycheck for, in a lot of cases, money that you can make in a week on the roads, or even quicker. Fucking how plugged up you are and whatnot, and how your thing is set. But the point is, it's not always going to be easy, especially at the start. Now, there's some people out there who will tell you, just tell yourself it's easy, tell yourself it's easy. Yes, cool. That may help, but it's not. Delaying gratification is extremely difficult, but it becomes easy. So it starts hard and becomes easy. The road life starts easy and becomes hard, because you get problems, addictions, pain, trauma, stress. This lifestyle, you'll get stress, but it's a different type of stress. It's not traumatic in the sense that it's breaking your heart, that is fucking up your mental state. It's a completely different type of stress. It's a stress that forces you to perform, that helps you elevate and grow through the discomfort, right? So this path is way more worth than this path. And instead of listening to these fucking rappers who love to lie to you, because remember, they're getting paid off selling an image, and if they're not, and they claim that, oh, this is really them, cool, but they're still doing it for personal gain because they're pushing out poison to the world, right? Now, I'm not saying I don't listen to that type of music. Yes, I do. I fucking love that type of music. I love that fucked up shit. But I listen from a state of awareness, knowing that these things are influencing me and having an effect on my emotional and mental state, because that is what is happening. Music is vibratory, meaning it operates on frequencies, meaning it has the ability to make you cry, angry, laugh, all of this stuff, which means it then influences your behavior because it affects your emotions, right? That's how this whole thing works. That's how this universe works with metaphysics. At the end of the day, just understand, your drug dealer don't give a fuck about you. The local trappers on the estate are not your friends. Doesn't matter how old you are, grown man, young boy, these guys do not like you, they do not rate you, they see you as nothing more than a civilian waste man who they can exploit and make money from. Once you understand that, you will no longer give respect to these guys on the level that you do, and you'll no longer look up to these types of guys. Instead, you will see them for what they are, essentially leeches, manipulators, master manipulators. And a lot of these people if they took their skills and their ability for what they can do, because manipulation can be good or bad, right? This is again a lot of what I go into on this channel, so be sure to subscribe. But if they chose to take these skills, these experiences, these knowledge, and use it for the greater good, they could become so powerful and so beneficial, and actually genuinely respect themselves when they look in the mirror. Anyway, man, remember, we all have a choice in life. Elevate or deteriorate. Love.